Yes.
some such other matters.
Yes, yes. Okay. Good morning, and welcome to the Committee on Public Services. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Varga.
Here.
Commissioner Palomero. Commissioner Hattis. Commissioner Dobb.
Here.
Commissioner Baidoon.
Here.
Commissioner Ware. Chair Mareki.
Here.
You have a quorum present.
Thank you. Next item.
B, approval of the January 28, 2020 meeting minutes.
Support.
Okay, we have an approval and support. Any questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Next item.
C, unfinished business.
Okay, the next, we're going to take, because we need a public hearing today on the next 5 items, we're going to take all the 5 items together. These are traffic control orders.
Move for public hearing.
Thank you.
Support.
Okay, we have approval to open up the public hearing and support. All those in favor of opening the public hearing, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Okay, right now, the public hearing is open. Is there anyone from the public that wants to address the committee on any of these items? These are traffic control orders in Northville and Plymouth, Township of Plymouth. Anybody? Okay, one more time. All right.
Close the public hearing.
Thank you.
Support.
Okay, all those in favor of closing the public hearing, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Okay, public hearing is closed. Okay, now we'll take these items all together.
Move approval. Go ahead, it's your. Thank you. Move approval.
Okay? Okay. I have a couple questions on this, just for my area. Yeah. And I'm sure for Commissioner Dobb as well. For the stop signs that are being placed, after this is approved by full board, how long will it take to get these in place?
I estimate, because we're in the winter, probably at the most, another month or so,
Okay.
depending on the weather.
When things start getting warmer?
Yeah, there, after your approval, there's a couple more steps, paperwork steps that need to be done before we can actually, go out there and do the work.
Okay. I have a question, because actually these neighborhoods just got in contact with our office. I'm assuming that there's one stop sign that's being placed at these corners. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. So it's one at each of these intersections?
Yeah, because these are all T intersections,
Okay.
so.
Because they had mentioned something where they wanted 3 at each one, which we just heard today, and I'm like, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
no.
sounds good. All right, any questions? Okay, we have an approval and support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next item, Madam Clerk.
Item D1 under new business, communication from Beverly J. Watts, Department of Public Services, forwarding the completion status of parks and the CIP plan.
Okay. This is pretty self-explanatory. Commissioner Dobb.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just had a question on the report here. For my district, it only lists the plans for Canton Township. And I was just wondering why Plymouth, City of Plymouth and Plymouth Township were not listed.
Morning.
Parks Direct. Commissioner Dobb, I do apologize. It does seem that was omitted in error, so I will update that report and get that forwarded back over to the commission through Ms. Yancey. That was my error. It was not updated. It may have been a printing issue or something, but I'll make sure that is corrected.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Okay, this is a receiving file? Is this receiving file? Okay, this is a receiving file.
Support.
Okay. All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next item.
2, communication from Daryl Jones, Capital Development and Buildings Administration Division, forwarding the notification of an emergency procurement with H.V. Burton Company.
Okay, this is, we've seen these before. The jail, Okay, this is a receive and file as well, isn't it? Just a receive and file. Okay. All right, so again, this is an emergency order that was taken care of a while ago. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Motion passes. Next item.
Item 3, communication from Beverly J. Watts, Department of Public Services, forwarding the November 2019 report of all complaint calls made to 1888 road crew.
Okay. This is our updates, which I'm sure are going to increase because I'm seeing the potholes starting.
Where?
Did you say where?
Funny.
Okay, receive and file. All right, thank you. We have a move to receive and file and support. Any questions about your areas? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Motion passes. I'm trying to scroll through all these reports here. Okay, next item.
Item 4, communication from Beverly J. Watts, Department of Public Services, forwarding the December 2019 report of all complaint calls made to 1888 road crew.
Okay, sorry, we should have taken these together. Okay. All right, any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next item.
Item 5, requesting commission approval of an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Plymouth.
Okay, it's from Don Massey Field.
Yes, move to approve.
All right, you have any questions, Commissioner Dobb? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Motion passes. Next item.
Item 6, requesting commission approval of a contract with 10 Mile Creek Excavating Services Roads Division.
Support.
Okay. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Okay, motion passes for, what is it, 3-year contract? 2-year contract. Okay, next item.
Item 7, requesting commission approval of a 2-year contract with Tri-County International Trucks.
Okay, for parts. Okay. Question? I'm sorry? Small change. Yeah, small change. Yeah, scheme of things. Any questions? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Next item.
Item 8, requesting commission approval of a 2-year contract with Dan's Excavating.
Okay, this is replacement of Allen Bridge over Ecorse Creek Bridge. This is for, any questions? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Okay, this item passes. Next item.
Item 9, requesting commission approval of a grant acceptance with the Michigan Department of Natural Resources Forest Resources Division.
Okay, any questions on this? I just have one question on this, Alicia. Is this this is the first time we've had this kind of grant?
Yes, this is the first time we're receiving this forestry grant from the DNR. So this will allow us to do some of our tree inventory and also to do a small contract with some tree removal companies in order to address some of our tree issues within Hines Park.
Okay, but we have to also contribute about 80%?
Yes, but it's, we can match it with in-kind, so it's not all dollar for dollar costs. Most of it's incurred through some of our equipment costs, some of our staff costs who will be doing the tree inventory as well. So it's not a full cash match for that grant.
It's kind of like you have to spend money to save money?
Right.
All right, any questions? Well, this is good.
Yeah, it will help us most definitely for our accreditation on both ends from APWA and as we prepare for our CAPRA accreditation for our agency.
Oh, good, okay, great. Any other, do we have an approval? Okay, all right, any other questions? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Motion passes, thank you. All
Thank you.
right, next item.
Item 10, requesting commission approval of a 3-year contract with Hubble Roth and Clark.
Okay, engineering services. All right, any questions? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item.
Item 11, requesting commission approval of a contract with the Michigan Department of Transportation.
Support.
Yep, good stuff. City of Trenton? Questions? Joey? Okay. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, next item.
E, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
Are there any such other matters? Good morning.
Good morning, Jim Jernigan, Corporation Counsel.
Tim Colleen, colleague. We have an item here today. Out along Lake St. Clair is Lakeshore Drive, which is a county road, and there's a seawall out there that the County Road Commission built in about 1930. This has been an issue ever since I've been commissioner. There's been very little, other than some spackling and a little upkeep on the wall. I don't think anything major has been done on that wall since it was built in the 30s. And it's been on my radar ever since I've been elected. The wall is deteriorating, it's crumbling. And we've had several efforts, but the current effort is as close as we've moved to fixing this. It's about 2 miles worth of seawall out there. There's cracks all along the seawall, and then water gets in, and the sediment from behind the seawall washes out, and it creates voids in behind the wall. And they're all up and down. And in a couple of places, the wall is within about 10 or 15 feet of our road, and I'm very concerned. We have high water levels now, and that's increased the deterioration of the wall. Fortunately, it hasn't been that strong of a freeze-thaw cycle this winter because we're at record lake levels, which also is accelerating the deterioration. I got a call from Grosse Pointe Shores Public Works earlier this summer, and they say, hey, Commissioner, the fish are on the wrong side of the wall in those voids. So it needs reconstruction. And Mr. Jernigan is here. We have an instrument that we will want to walk on to the agenda a week from Thursday just to keep the momentum going on this. But that's what's behind this. And Mr. Jernigan, if you want to say what the agreement is.
Certainly, we drafted an IGA between the county and the city of Grosse Pointe Farms, total cost of which is $71,932. The county would be paying for half of that, which is $35,966. The city of Grosse Pointe Farms would pay for the other half. That is to engage Hubble, Roth, and Clark in an examination and a survey of approximately a 3-mile stretch of the seawall, starting at Vernier and terminating near Warner Road in Grosse Pointe Farms. The examination will entail topographic studies and ultimately some opinions regarding repair and/or replacement of the existing wall.
I'm sorry, I was talking, what did you say the cost of this was? This is for the engineering services?
Correct. Total cost is $71,932. The county's half would be $35,966.
Okay, so why, okay. So this has been going on for how many years?
Ever.
So why are we, I'm gonna ask Felicia too, walking this on when this has been going on for,
Well, the reason I want to walk it on is I don't want to break the momentum. We've had very difficult times. When I first got elected, Congresswoman Kilpatrick was the rep, and the county's idea at that time was to go get an earmark. And that didn't happen for a couple of years, and then Congress outlawed earmarks. And so that kind of brought the Ficano effort on the wall to an end. And then when new folks got elected, we've started up conversations again. This study the county and the locals out there discuss what was needed as part of the study. I have a meeting Valentine's Day with the folks upstairs and representatives of Congressman Lawrence, Senator Stabenow, and Senator Peters' office. They've been with us all along on this. So we need to get the study done as quick as we can and get it to our Washington representatives so they can start combing through the federal budget. You know, it's going to be somewhere between 10 and 15 million to do this, which I don't think we have in our budget, Madam. No. So this is, so we got the momentum, we've got the attention of our federal officials. And so just want to keep the ball rolling on this and keep it moving so we can get it done. You know, if something can come from Washington, of course, this year, this construction season probably won't happen, even with approval. But if it goes well, I want to get the construction going next year and not wait another year or so. Because every time there's an east wind coming across that lake that's pushing the lake up against that wall, every time I see that in the news, I'm like, oh no, right? There have been some small chunks of concrete that have washed up on Lakeshore. I'm also concerned that there might be some undercutting of our road that we don't know about, that I don't want to find out one day when somebody goes into a sinkhole. The liability to the county will make the cost of a seawall look pretty cheap on that. So we've got the ball rolling, want to keep it rolling. It was a little late getting to us. Grosse Pointe Farms didn't sign it and get it down to us in time. But for the last cycle, so this is what we're attempting. And I've talked to the chair about walking it on too, so, but we can talk later about that. But that's why we want to do it.
Okay, so
I
you,
wanna do it.
I mean, this is you want this approved before your meeting on on the
No,
February 14th?
no, not necessarily, you know, because I'm going to guess that the commission's not going to say no if we walk it on. So we have had the Congresswoman out to look at it and her staff and the other staff. So we're just going to get together. We haven't gotten together for 4 or 5 months now with our federal officials. So we set a meeting, say, let's get together to see where we're at. We are anticipating that meeting that this IGA is going to go through. And so we can just keep it moving and get them going in DC as quick as we can to get some resolution on this.
There's some questions. Commissioner Ware?
Where is it in the system, in the county system, that it need to be, it's gonna be walked on as immediate consideration?
However the chair wants to put it, I don't know if it'll, but anyway, we just received it from a signed copy from Grosse Pointe Farms 2 days ago.
Right, last Friday, I believe, or Thursday.
Yeah.
So it has not been entered into the system. Michelle Yancey, DPS admin. I
It
plan
hasn't
to
even been in your
enter-
system at
No.
all? Okay.
Not as of yet. I will get this into the system as soon as I receive an account number, which I plan to today, and I'll have it expedited all the way through to get it to you guys no later than Wednesday.
So in that packet, tell me what cities had to sign it, just the one?
I believe so, just
Yes.
Roseville.
And so you send information over to the city to sign it, is that how it goes?
Correct.
Okay, so when did you send the information to the city?
Originally?
Yeah.
November.
November of 2019?
Correct.
Okay.
And,
Thank
and
you.
then there was some back and forth, and they finally signed it and got it back to us
Always
last week.
Okay.
And there has been, and I won't get in, there has been some difficulties out there. And because it was originally going to be half the county, 25% the shores, Grosse Pointe Shores, 25% the city. There was some balking at the shores. They wanted to add some stuff to the IGA. I want to give big thanks to the city manager and Grosse Pointe Farms, Mr. Shane Reside, and the mayor out there, Mr. Theros, who injected themselves personally, went over and talked to the shores. So the way it's going to go through here is the farm's going to pick up the half for out there, and there's a side agreement with Grosse Pointe Shores to reimburse Grosse Pointe Farms for their half. So there's been a
So-
little local. And when I found out it wasn't getting down here, I called the city manager out there and said, Shane, where's the signed agreement? He was like, oh, I didn't think you needed it, yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, we did. So there was about a week in there where they had a chance to sign it and get it down here, but for whatever bureaucratic reasons, it didn't make it down.
So, just one more question, please. When we receive this document to go on full board next Thursday, we will receive it when, do you think? What's your hopes?
My hopes is that you'll receive it by Wednesday of
Because
this
I
week.
think Felicia
review.
or legislative research, I'm not for sure which department, don't they get a chance to review it?
Yes.
So if we receive it officially on Wednesday, tell me how it's going to work through our system, please. Somebody.
So through the chair, so once it's received by Pam's office, the clerk's office, and officially submitted, staff will review it. We'll get with the chairwoman to determine the priority. If we're told that this is priority, we'll stop working on other items to make sure this is done in time for Thursday's agenda. We have not talked to the chairwoman and heard from her yet, but once we receive it, we'll have those discussions, and if it's a priority, we'll get it to Thursday's agenda, if possible. Now, if there are issues and concerns and some other things, that's another, but hopefully, we won't have any issues and concerns, and we'll be able just to process it straight
So
through.
if there's issues or concerns, that's where I'm trying to get to. You all are going to be available to meet with our staff that morning, or how would that go?
As
'Cause
soon as
board
the
meeting's
issues
at
are-
10.
But I'm thinking, when you say Wednesday, you're talking about like this week?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so we'll have time.
Okay.
a week and a day.
This Wednesday, yes.
Okay,
I'm sorry,
well,
this
I'm
Wednesday.
finished.
Yeah, and-
Sorry.
She didn't say which Wednesday.
And when we get,
sorry,
if
tomorrow.
this is walked on the agenda, Commissioner, I'm going to gather, no, but I just want you to know, I'm going to gather some photographs so people can really see. Photographs have been taken out there, articles are being written in the papers out there. So I'll bring some more to show folks really how bad it is. And again, I keep saying to Corporation Counsel every time I talk to them, liability, liability, liability. Something bad happens out there, the cost of the lawsuits will be.
No, I'm straight.
So I'm just,
Thank
yeah.
you, Madam
So
Chair.
I'll bring,
Thank you.
yep.
I was just hoping that our staff
Right.
didn't have to come back and say we didn't have time, but since she's
Right.
clarified this Wednesday, I mean, we can build a wall in a week.
Commissioner Palomero.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner Ware asked most of the questions I had, and just to clarify, this is a courtesy representation as if the matter was before us, like all the other items are, and actually, we're having more discussion on it than we have on most agenda items. So I have no problem supporting it pending thumbs up by the chair and research and analysis.
Because in the discussions between the county and the locals out there, again, to expedite it, the agreement allows the points to select the engineering firm, which of course turned out to be Hubble, that we're all very familiar with here. But in order not to have to go through the county procurement and slow it down for another month or whatever it would take, we expedited it that way as well.
Wait, so we're not going through a procurement process at all? I mean, I know we have the five engineers
No,
we
because the agreement
go.
allows the farms to hire the firm.
So the farms are hiring Hubble
That's
Roth.
correct. Correct.
Okay, so I think walking on is the wrong description of this.
Well, whatever we call
because-
it, want to get it on Thursday, a week from.
Felicia?
Through the chair, if it's received in a timely manner, then it'll be on your agenda packet, whether that's an addenda or actually
Okay.
an agenda item, probably for immediate consideration, but it will actually be on your agenda for next week. That would be the plan, I believe.
Okay, that sounds good. And of course, we're discussing this more because we don't have any background on it and, anything in our notes. So Commissioner Baydun.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner, you'll have my support. I'm very, very interested when it comes to liability. As a county commissioner and resident of Wayne County, this seawall covers about 3 mile stretch.
They're going to look at 3 miles, but I think it's, the actual is like, because there's a couple of parks that jut out, I think it's actually 2 to 2.5 miles of actual seawall.
Are there any areas of concern right now as we speak that need to be sectioned off or closed off so the
Yes,
public does not use this
Yes.
and create a sinkhole or just, somebody
Grosse
getting
Pointe,
hurt?
Yeah, Grosse Pointe Shores has been out putting up some police tape. They started last fall for that. If we have a heavy snowfall and some of these voids are covered over and somebody's walking their dog along the seawall, that's also a potential serious liability. Of course, it's very sensitive in nature out there to be putting up police tape because residents don't want to see that, kind of thing. But yeah, indeed, that's what's happened in 3 or 4 places and probably should happen in more.
Now, do we, as the county, the DPS, should we be putting like, I don't know if you want to call it cones, orange barrels, any other equipment, to alert the public that there could be some issues in this particular section? We definitely don't want a liability. We don't want a lawsuit.
Madam Chair, Andrew Kandrivas, Office of Wayne County Executive Warren Evans. To answer the Commissioner Baydun's question, I've been involved in this for a few years now, and number one, it's posted no trespassing. This is not a park. This is not a public area. This is side of the road between Jefferson Avenue and the waterfront. You're not allowed to be there. You're not supposed to be there. We've posted it, and it's been posted for many years. Doesn't keep everybody off of the area. Wintertime keeps people off the area a little better than summertime because it looks hazardous. It might not look so hazardous in the summertime. As Commissioner Killeen has noted, there is, not an agreement, I would say, with homeowners, residents, and local elected officials. I'm placing a large barricade for 2 miles, which I think the director has offered to do, and that's not been accepted from many people over there because they don't, let's be honest, these are mansions, and nobody is going to sit there quietly and look at a big orange fence. So that's what we have now. I can't say it's not a hazard. There's hazard to it, but it's not a place the public is supposed to be, and we do everything we can to, tell the public not to be there. But that said, we need to, our guys do go out. They try to fill the voids that, might be a problem. It doesn't stay in very long. It can go out to the water. So, this is why this report at least will be a good start, I think.
One more comment. Thank you, Andy, for the input. Commissioner Killeen, what are our chances of securing some federal funding for this project
Well,
from your experience?
We have the full focus of all 3 of those offices. I have talked to Congresswoman Lawrence several times about this, and of course Senator Stabenow with the Great Lakes Restoration. And I've known all these folks for years and years and years, and I'll get reports back from out there saying, hey, Senator Stabenow was out here the other day, and she was asking about the seawall. So it's on her mind personally to get this done. But it's another reason both the shores and the farms will say when we call the county to come out and do a little maintenance, they are responsive, but it's deteriorating faster than we can keep up with it. So for all these liability questions, that's a reason. I've got momentum. I want to keep the momentum going. I don't want to slow it down for a couple of months because we need to really take care of this as soon as we can. But we know that's going to be a little bit of a long process. And now, depending on what happens in the governor's budget, because she put money in for shorelines this time, we'll see what happens there, because we've also been talking with our state rep and state senator out there. So maybe there's, depending on what happens in the budget here, maybe there's a pool of money in the governor's new budget, depending on how that goes through.
Well, good luck. You got my
Thank you.
support, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Okay, just a couple of things. So I'm assuming that if this gets on our agenda next week, that Hubble Roth are willing to do this right away?
Correct.
Okay, all right, because I know they have a lot of things going on. Okay. No, this is just informational. This is, no, if anything happens and our staff can get it on next week, then we can ask more, and I'm sure you'll be at our meeting for the rest of the commissioners. Felicia, did you want to say anything else?
Through the chair, not on this item, but another such other matter.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, any more questions? Okay, sounds good?
Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right. Next, go ahead.
So through the chair, if I may mention, just because this body just approved 5 traffic control orders. There was an issue that my office was asked to look into on behalf of Commissioner Dobbs' office with regards to a traffic control order in Canton, I believe, near a school. So I sent some questions out to DPS. The response that came back was, and my questions were general with regards to the ordinance and how they actually implement it, and then specific with regards to some of the communications regarding that specific traffic control order request. And the response that came back was call 1-800-88 Road Crew, I believe is the number, which we found to be, I found it to be non-responsive, to suggest that commission staff couldn't get the information on behalf of a commissioner, and we were told to call 1-800 Road Crew when I wasn't asking about a pothole. I was specifically asking questions with regards to how they process some of the traffic control orders in relation to the ordinance, and some specific questions to try to get some clarification with regards to the issue for commissioner. And that was back in October. I sent my questions October 2nd. I think we got the response from the department by 1-800 Road Crew, October 29th. And we do a lot to try to assist the department with processing items. And I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that that's some of the things that, well, at least in this instance, that took place, that we're told to contact the road crew. And I'm not sure if there's anything this committee could do to assist in helping us get that information from the department.
Okay, thank you. Andy, would you like to, whoever would like to, Commissioner Palmera?
Is the department aware of that prior to you raising it with us today? Because this is the first I've heard of it. Is Beverly aware?
She sent the response to Commissioner saying contact 1-800 Road Crew to get responses to Felicia's questions. So yes, she's very aware of it.
Through the chair, I'm sorry. Can you resend that email to me so that I can see what it is and try to get you an answer and a response? Okay.
Just on that point, who did you send the email?
Your mic's off.
Through the chair, and I could pull it up. I don't remember all the people on the list, but I believe Ms. Watts was the individual who actually responded to the email to Commissioner and indicated when Commissioner inquired about responses to my questions. And I could pull it up just to confirm, but Ms. Watts indicated to call 1-800 Road Crew, 188, whatever the number is.
So before they meet, I do have one other suggestion for the staff. And this is how we have worked in the past. I know sometimes the past is not good, but that's why we have chairs of committees. So if you're working on issues that's dealing with a particular committee, you should go to the chair before you have to come to the committee like this, because you all work hard, and that's why the chair is here. Thank you.
Well, no, but I'm glad that we were able to hear what's going on, because we'll all be in that spot at some point. Yep.
Agree, but I'm just saying. She
Yeah,
should've
thank you
brought
for that, because that would work, for sure. Hi. Good morning. I think your mic is off. Just hit the,
Where's this press?
the light goes in. Yeah. Go ahead.
Good morning. Deputy Director Robin Rivers, Road Division Administration. Newly appointed there since July. I have not received any such communication. So I'd like to, first of all, ask that it be forwarded to me and also Deputy Director Shia. We usually handle those issues ourselves, and you may not have known that because we're newer to the division. But I know that I had not seen anything of that nature. And I appreciate it if those situations can be forwarded to both Deputy Director Shia and myself.
Appreciate that. So if this kind of situation comes up again, especially like a traffic study or road study, is it appropriate then that we specifically go through you and put other people on the CC as well?
We should be CC'd always, the 2 deputy directors.
Okay.
So that we can monitor that things are
Like
being
the more
addressed
the merrier on
appropriately.
these emails, so everybody sees them.
Thank you.
And I'm not sure if that happened or not. I mean, it could have happened, so. All right. And and as Jewel suggested, if there's something that's really not working out, please come to me. I will intervene in that as well if you'd like me to do that. So, okay. Thank you. Anything else? No, thank you. Okay, no, thank you. All right, next item, Madam Chair. Madam Clerk.
Public comments?
Any comments from the public? Okay, anyone? All right, next item.
Adjournment?
Okay, all right, all in favor of adjournment, say aye. Aye, we are now adjourned. Thank you, everyone.